In today's Did You Know Grounded, we're talking all about raw science, the nitty gritty, how much you actually need to complete the game and the best ways to get it. If you're new to Grounded, this is the perfect way to find out exactly what the raw science does and how to maximise getting the most. Let's go. So once you've spoken to Burgle for the first time inside the Oak Lab, that's when raw science will start spawning all across the map, in either 500 or 100 amounts. When you look in the ASL shop, once you've spoken to Burgle, you'll see all the initial unlocks that you can buy for certain amounts of raw science. You can add to this the upgrades that you can unlock by finding more of the super chips and auxiliary chips scattered around the lab and the rest of the backyard. You hand these into Burgle and that will unlock new upgrades for you to go and get. If you want to get every single upgrade that's available in the ASL shop, something you need for 100% complete playthrough of Grounded and get that special score, you have to have bought everything from the ASL shop. For every single unlock, you're going to need 151,600 raw science. That sounds like a huge amount, but don't panic, there are lots of ways to get that raw science. If you got every piece of raw science available on the map, it's roughly around 33,000 that you can get and find. You can of course get the scab upgrade from the Burgle shop that will allow you to go ahead and sense any raw science nearby. Just don't waste too much time trying to gather every piece of raw science, rather play the game, and if you see it, grab it as you go along. The other super easy way that you'll generate a bunch of raw science is by scanning resources. There are 142 different resources to scan in the game, and each one gives you a reward of 30 raw science. This will give you a total of 4,260 raw science. When you scan your resources, you'll notice it's in common, uncommon or rare. These all contribute to your brain power, and you get different amounts depending on the resource you're scanning. Each brain power level you get some more raw science, and this increases by 50 for each time that you level up. There are 16 levels, and so you get a whopping 9,200 more raw science by leveling up to level 16 brain power. Probably the second biggest way to get raw science is by handling the Burgle chips. You'll find these super chips or auxiliary chips all around the yard. There's 11 of them, and obviously you go through the story, you'll find them pretty easily. These need to be handed into Burgle though, and you can receive a total of 32,500 raw science. Of course, each one is going to unlock new technology, but you get the idea. You do get some rewards for handing them in. After that, completing the mixers, the mini base defences that you find in lower yard and upper yard, that equals 22,000 raw science, and you get roughly around 3,000 raw science from defeating all of the different Tasty and Rusty robots in the game, and a few of the bosses also give you raw science as a reward, which I won't spoil here, but it's roughly around 3,000 that you'll get from defeating them ones too. So if you add up defeating the robots, getting raw science from mixers, the chips and scanning all the resources, you have got a total of 73,960 raw science that you can get. Of course, you're going to be spending your raw science as you get it though on these rewards. It's not like you're going to have 106,000 just lying around. So add up the 33,000 approximately you get from around the map, and you've got 106,000, and that's just enough to get every single unlock that you need bar the science. So if you've never bothered with the science sets or the scab scanner, then now you would probably need about 44,000 to go ahead and get them all. And you'll more likely do that by grinding out the quests, and this is how you get more science pretty much infinitely. Of course, you'll get to the point where you won't ever really need any more until we get new updates that add either new chips and of course new upgrades. You get 3 of these daily quests, and they won't actually regenerate until you've either completed them or you've recycled them, which you can do in the quest menu. The ones that you'll be doing over and over again are pretty much the hunter quests. These rely on you killing a certain amount of bugs and getting the reward. Some of these quests are obviously going to be harder than others. Killing 5 wolf spiders is a lot harder than killing 5 larvae. So depending on difficulty and how many you have to kill, you'll get more or less reward of raw science. There are also explorer quests, but once you've done these once, that's it, you can't do them again, and basically you have to put a marker down at certain spots on the map. These all vary in terms of what they offer. The highest one gives you 750 raw science, and that's at the sandcastle, but most give you between 100 and 250. And the last set is by you crafting certain weapons and armour, you get rewarded for doing so if it pops up as a quest. And the reason you get rewards from Burgle for handing the chips in because they are part of the chip sleuth quests. You don't have to worry though about waiting for one to activate. They'll normally tell you to go and explore the jungle area or this place or that location. These chip sleuth quests can actually still give you the rewards even if you've never triggered them before, hence why you get the reward points whenever you hand one to Burgle. So don't keep doing a bunch of quests hoping to get a next one that's going to give you the option to go and explore maybe grave robbery or another chip sleuth one. You don't have to wait. In fact, top tip, if you do get any of them quests, you might as well cancel them so that you can hopefully generate some new other quests like the hunter ones, because you're going to get the rewards whenever you hand them chips in anyway. So you are probably going to have to grind quite a lot of these quests though to get the final raw science you need to get every single one. That's why I always leave the sign sets till the very last, even if it does mean I can't customize my base with as many pretty nice things. Otherwise you're going to have to grind around 30 to 40,000 raw science by doing these quests. Once you add up how much raw science there is on the map with all the stuff that you get from doing the mixers, handing the chips in, etc., that's probably about 100 to 110,000. So normally I used to say only do these kind of quests at the very end once you've got everything else in, just grinding away for the rest of them science. But ideally you do want to kind of put a few of these quests in as you play the game, because otherwise you're just going to be grinding just for them science sets and it might get a bit boring come the end of everything else. Of course, we are expecting more stuff to be added in the future, so yes, you still want to store and save up some of your raw science for sure. So there we go, that's pretty much everything you need to know about raw science. Hopefully for some new info for old grounded pros, but particularly for newer players, to give you a lowdown of what you should be doing and maybe focusing on first. I've got plenty of new guides incoming, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you've liked this video, and I'll see you ratbags later.